Hi, welcome to Ferrano Tutorials. In this session, I'll demonstrate how to create a RESTful service in Ferrano. For this, I use a temperature converter web service to expose Fahrenheit to Celsius conversion operation as a RESTful service. There are two prerequisites for this tutorial. First one is that the ESB server should be running. As discussed in the introduction video, it can be started by executing ferrano.bat file in the installer bin directory. The second one is that an evaluation license file has to be placed in the licenses folder. This gives you full access to all the microservices in the platform. We send you a license file to your email ID when you register for download. Place the file in Ferrano Home Licenses folder. I'll start with the Ferrano eStudio. Log on to the ESB server by right-clicking the Enterprise Server node. This connects to the server and brings all the flows and services into eStudio. Integration flows are on the left. On the right, the microservices palette shows the adapters for integration with various systems. Now, let's create a flow named RESTdemo. Firstly, configure the web service client. Drag and drop the web service consumer microservice. Start configuring it by double-clicking the icon. This brings up the configuration property sheet. We can configure the web service by providing a WSDL URL or a file. Click the button against the WSDL property and provide the temperature converter WSDL URL. Click OK. Click the next button. Now click the Web Service Operation button. This will display all the web service operations present in the web service. Select Fahrenheit to Celsius and click OK. The web service consumer configuration is now complete. In order to test the service, we can click the Test button. It will display a sample message. Provide a Fahrenheit value and click Execute. You can see the Celsius result displayed. Click Close and click Finish. Now let's expose this service as a RESTful service. Drag drop the REST stub microservice and double-click the icon to open its configuration. Provide a service name. Remove the default resource and add a new one. Provide an ID and a path to this resource. Now I'll configure a get method on this resource. Right-click the resource and select get from the add method option. Get method will not have a request body. I want my users to provide Fahrenheit value as a request query parameter. So click the Parameters tab and click the plus button to add a parameter. Let's call it tempf. Now let's configure the response format. Right-click Get and select Add Response. Add a representation by selecting the media type as application/JSON. RESTstub configuration is now complete. Click Next twice and then click Finish. RESTstub microservice listens for client requests. Whenever client sends a request, it sends the request message to its output port. So the output port is the request port and input port is the response port for this microservice. Now connect these microservices by dragging from RESThub output port to the web service consumer input port. The route thus created is a dotted line, which means that we need to define the message transformation. Right-click the route and select Mapper Project from the Configure Transformation option. It opens the Mapper tool where the input and output structures are reflected. Map the Fahrenheit value from REST service request present on the left side panel to the web service request on the right. Now save and close the mapper. Our REST service should send a JSON response back to the client. So we need to convert the web service XML response into JSON format by using JSON Converter microservice. Drag drop the JSON Converter microservice. Create routes between web service consumer, JSON Converter and RESThub. Double-click the JSON Converter microservice icon to open the configuration. In order to convert XML to JSON, set the Convert JSON to XML property to No. Click Finish. RESThub input port has a schema on it, so we cannot directly send the JSON converter output to the RESThub. We need to open the mapper on the route to define a transformation. Response message has to be mapped to the any element on the right side. We can use the getTextJMS function, which gives us the incoming message at runtime. Map it to the any element. Now save and close the mapper. Click the CRC button and then the Run button to deploy and run this flow. The microservices should turn green to indicate that the flow started successfully. The RESThub automatically creates a WADL. You can load it in any REST client or we can test it from a browser itself. Right-click and select View WADL. Copy the base URL and the path. Open a new tab and paste the base URL followed by the path. Provide the query parameter and press Enter. You can see the temperature converter response displayed in JSON format. So this is how we can create a RESTful service in Fiorano. Thank you for watching this video.